Hello, everybody. Happy Equinox. This is Shanta Gabriel. Kelly Beard is here to do her magic and talk about the energies of the planetary realms and the earth and how we can best be ready to get the most out of this magical, amazing time. We are going to start with a prayer, and then I'll talk a little bit, and then we can kind of open up to grace, and then Kelly's going to talk, and then we'll see how much time we have left then. We'll do a fabulous meditation to bring together what Kelly's talking about and planting the seeds for our intentions going forward into the most benevolent future. So just relax, and if you'd like to, put your hands on your heart. I'm going to begin by placing my hands on my heart, bringing coherence into my own energy field, bringing together our minds and hearts, and grounding this time together through the base of the spine. Here we call in Archangel Sandalphon to anchor our sense of well-being, to bring us into deep connection with the heart of the Mother of the Earth, feeling that powerful presence that holds us in wings of pure light and allows us to feel nurtured and nourished and at present in this beautiful time. Grounding the energy that we do today, grounding any technological issues, allowing an expansion of energy that is in harmony with our highest good and in connection with our higher selves. We call on Archangel Michael specifically to bring the warm golden light of the sun into our solar plexus, feeling that warm golden light strengthen our center, strengthen the core, bringing us the courage that we need to live and do what we came here to do during this time. We ask that Archangel Michael clear our fields of any discordant energy and surround us with rings of golden light, creating healthy boundaries so we can bring forth the light and empower our work in the world, empower love and balance on the earth from now on. May it be so. We're also calling forth those archangels and beings of light that work with every person here and allow that to meld together with our higher self so that we are working as a sacred circle to bring more balance and grace into our lives and into the lives of all humanity. May all be blessed. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, there's been a word that keeps coming up for me that I want to bring into our discussion today about the equinox, and that is grace. I mean, I'm not sure that we talk about grace. We love that beautiful prayer song, Amazing Grace, makes people cry, and that's the kind of energy that grace is. It melts our hearts. It's given to us for no reason except that we're here and we're who we are. And grace can act in very interesting ways. And I just want to share a quick story that I've been working with this group spiritual process. We've been doing this for 7 days through the equinox. And I usually read a book for inspiration, and this time I chose a book by Alan Cohen, who is one of my 30-year favorite teachers, and I love his books. And this book is called Grace. It's called The Grace Factor, and he talks about how it can just step in and bring miracles. And so one of his stories is so great because not only do I know Alan personally, but I also know the area he was talking about. He flew from Hawaii to San Francisco and drove into the mountains right outside the Bay Area to a beautiful hot spring place that is very rustic. It's been through the fire, so it's not there probably available anymore, but it's called Harbin Hot Springs, and he arrived around 2 in the morning because that's how long it takes to get there after you fly from Hawaii. And he was the only person in this beautiful pool, and he realized that he had forgotten to get any food to bring with him, and that it was 2 in the morning and there wasn't going to be any food available, and he started being a little concerned about that. So he was he's sitting there with his eyes closed and thinking about it. What is he going to do? And something bumped into his lips. And when he opened his eyes, it was a fresh fig. And it turns out that he, in that pool of warm water under the stars, was also sitting under a ripe fig tree. And it was dropping into the water and feeding him right there, just exactly what he needed at the time. And I love that story because that's the way grace works. And that's what we're doing together, is to open the doorways and plant the seeds for more grace in our lives. Because when we plant the garden of our soul, which is what we're here today to celebrate on Equinox, it invites the grace of the angels to work in our daily life. And we're demonstrating what we want to receive. We're allowing the universe to know that in our heart of hearts, we want more grace and we want more of these beautiful intentions that allow us to really feel like we are renewing our lives and being more positive, so we can promote this joyous, abundant life that we all want, and which is what the divine wants for us too. So, planting those seeds that lead to abundant prosperity and health and well-being, these are what we're creating for our intentions today. And we're using our imagination, which is exactly the time that we're living in right now, and Kelly's going to talk more about that. So this is a really supported time to use your imagination and bring the qualities of consciousness you want to experience in life right now. And so these magical qualities are creating this unlimited potential in ourselves. So we want to dream really big. We want to expand our minds. We want to just allow the potential to be there, and not try to think in practical ways, but to really just open up the doorways and allow the universe to bless and support all of your dreams. And so it's a time you can say, okay, well, here's 3 questions. What do you want in your life? And the next question is, what do you really want in your life? And then the third question would be, what do you really, really want in your life? And that's the depth that you go to for this beautiful garden of your soul. And so we are inspiring support from the seen and the unseen world, and we're creating a very beautiful, magical blueprint for what we are going to step into as we move through this time, through this next season to solstice. And so you can make this, you can just write a list, just sort of my form. You can draw a beautiful picture. You can make your garden in a spiral. You can paint it. Anything is possible for this. It's your garden. So really, let yourself be freer and open, and anything that makes you feel uplifted and joyous and peaceful and blessed, that's what you want in your garden. And we're really making sure that as we plant our garden and take care of it, we are able to look out for all the weeds, that transmute old ways of behavior. We're pulling the weeds that get in the way of new positive life force energy. So we're feeding our garden with any kind of the fertilizer of those old patterns that no longer serve us. And we're also nurturing our garden and feeding it with beautiful food that allows us to feel like we are nourished, and feeding it with our love, and feeding it with our focus of attention, and the recognition that we're not alone in this gardening project, that this is an amazing time when we have so many spiritual resources, seen and unseen, that is there. It's creating a potential for new life that magnetizes all that you've been dreaming about into your life. This is a year when we can actually move towards this manifestation and create this greater sense of not only balance, but expanded possibility and hope and protection for what we came here to do, and recognizing our most unique qualities of consciousness, our soul's gifts. That's what we're here to bring forward. So it's a beautiful time of flowering and honoring your heart space and honoring that new balance that is awakening inside you. So we want it to flourish. And so we're doing all that we can to bring those qualities through to support us moving forward. And it doesn't have to be a very complicated thing. It's just your way of simply letting the universe know how expanded and delighted you are to be working on the earth right now and fulfilling your soul's destiny. That's what we're here for today. So with that in mind, I'd love to have Kelly Beard, our most amazing shamanic astrologer, come forward and talk to us about this planetary energy, and let me know if there's something more about the archangels that you'd like me to talk about.
No, that was a great introduction. I'm sure it'll come through in the meditation. Whatever we need, we'll be there. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shanta. You set such a nice face. I'm like taking notes and all into the spring and what I want to do in my garden. But hello, everyone. I'm so grateful that you're here and that we're together for all this. I do have quite a bit to cover, and it will all come together with what Shanta's already presented, because truly we can call in this grace and miracles at this time. And part of the magic happens when you connect to your own soul and do this once a year time where I give everyone permission to be selfish, because it's self-preservation at this point. Right now you're determining what aspects of your soul you want to animate and activate for the year going forward. And we get to do this every year, but it's pretty special post-2020. So we're going to touch base with the season. We have what I call the 8 sacred seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall, are the active times in our lives when there's lots of choices and decisions and activities and movement, as we're feeling right now. And then at the halfway point between winter, spring, summer, fall are more lunar gates, where we anchor and ground and do some release work as well. We check in at the midpoint to see if we're on track. So spring to summer this year of 2021 is packed with planetary support and energetic alignments that are fairly rare. that can also help us with our garden and help us connect to those aspects of soul that, like we said, want to be animated at this time and want to serve and feed the rest of the world. That's what gardens do. They feed us with food and beauty. But they're also a lot of work. You've got to deal with compost. You've got to consider seasons, weeds, and how things grow together, or what things need to be apart. So that's kind of where we're at this seed time, where we're in this infinite potential beginning space, this new beginning, this resurrection. When we talk about the life, death, life cycle, this is the second life in that. We're on the other side of it, rebirthing anew and taking all that we've learned in the last year. You can look at it 3, 6, 9, or 12 months, and that's going into the initiation of this new garden, right? This is definitely an energetic portal to the next level, and to starting something new and fresh and going in a new direction is just all completely supported, as long as it's staying rooted in who you are and what you want, being very clear about that. And I think 2020 actually helped us in that way, get more clear about what our values and priorities really are, and who is on our team in terms of the visible team, because most of you know I'm always talking about our invisible team. Our angels, ancestors, and animal spirit guides are always with us. Humans are occasionally unavailable for consultation, right? But that's because we're all going through similar upgrades right now, so we have to be mindful about that as well. And it's just another reason to use this season to pull back inward to really determine what you want, so that you're clear in your choices and then clear in your actions. And so we're looking for those creative solutions. We're going to be very courageous and determined and dedicated to, again, as long as you're getting clear on what you want. And that's what some of the planetary support this quarter is going to help us do as well. Like literally this week of Equinox, we have some magic between Mercury and Mars going on, which is our thinking and our thoughts and our actions and choices. And they're trying to work it out with each other. But what's happening is each of them respectively are tapping into the bigger picture. So where Uranus is trying to liberate our minds in some way and awaken us to a completely new level of existence, okay, literally, Mars, the sacred masculine, is linking up in a very positive way with Saturn, so it's giving us this energy and dedication, this ability to actually follow through on our desires and what we want. So again, with that clarity piece, with moving forward, not backwards, we can take a lot of our history as education, but we shouldn't need to repeat any grades, right? We need to repeat certain things. And this clean slate that spring equinox offers us is such a pure time of the year to really honor that, give yourself access to this balance of light and dark that's available. We can call that into our bodies over the next 6 to 12 weeks and literally tell our systems we are balanced and connect to that grace that allows us to connect to balance and stick with it. That gyroscope of the heart that Shanta has taught us about, where we can stay balanced within our Aries individual selves no matter what is going on in the rest of the world. And so we're definitely activating that for this season to support and help us face our fears and resolve to change once and for all, to really let go of the past in a certain way that there's no going back, and take some new actions so you can get some new results and get out of your comfort zone a little bit. It's time to practice improvising, using the resources on hand, working with what you've got. That all helps you build your confidence in terms of how resourceful you can be when, like we know, the social collective is a little crazy right now. This is a time for more doing than talking, more listening and processing, integrating what's real for you, and then making those choices accordingly. And try to do your best to match your personal desires to community needs or to your partnerships and collaborations. So there was something else that Shanta was speaking to. Oh, and she said we are inspiring support from both the visible and invisible realms. We absolutely do that by clarifying our own purpose and mission, really knowing who you are and what you want at this fundamental level is what draws the support you need. It's not about worrying about how it's going to look or what resources are going to be available or who's going to show up. It's just about making your offering and knowing that it's of value, and you're sharing this energy and this part of yourself for a purpose and for a larger purpose and reason, and that who needs to be magnetized is going to be natural for it's going to be a vibrational match. So we always want to work on our own vibration in order to do that, in order to magnetize what we want to magnetize in our lives. And so one of the things that I talk about a lot too, some of you may have heard, I've added to my list here, where we are calling in those, because let's just claim it. Let's claim that we know our purpose and our passion for the new year and that one thing we want to get done in 2021, and we have some sense of self and self-value that we're cultivating at this time so that we can magnetize the creative collaborations, reciprocal relationships, and profitable partnerships. And then Shanta did use the word earlier, flourishing. I've added flourishing friendships to that list. So in order to have those things, we need to be centered in our own truth. So let's just say that this season, March, April, May to June, that's where we're at, spring to summer solstice, spring equinox to summer solstice, is going to kind of step by step build different aspects of our being so that we're really strong and fortified by summer solstice, and we know what we're working with by then. So I want to hit a few highlights of the energies that are supporting this renewal and this rebirth and your garden, because this is all the fertilizer and the extra energy that you're going to need to go into your garden to, like I said, build things step by step so you're not overwhelmed at the end of this. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it as well. So this week, early in equinox, we're working on our ideas, thoughts, and concepts, and then the choices and actions we want to take. But we've got to work it out. We've got to work out how much stability we have to carry ourselves and how much we really need to try something new and just break free and let the chips fall where they may and trust the universe to provide what's needed along the way, which is totally doable too. But it also is based on your value system. And so this week in particular, which is part of the energy of our equinox, is the Venus-Sun contact, which only happens twice in 18 months in her cycle. And they're linking up in Aries. So again, there's this activation of the inner pioneer and this, new path that we're more or less bushwhacking and building ourselves. So choose, like she said, dream big. Expand your vision beyond what you've ever thought possible, because you can look at the last year and say all kinds of things happened we didn't think were possible. So we can counterbalance any of that darkness with this balance of light we have right now and say equal miracles can happen too. And I counted the miracles throughout 2020 as well, and we really did have equal tragedy as much as triumph the whole year. It was really deep. So how are we going to carry that forward in the shift of values that we're expressing going forward, right? And so next week, after we sort of clarify a few things, what our values and priorities are and where, what choices we want to make, next week Saturn's going to be in the mix to help us anchor things and make things real. And that's what I mean by kind of week by week. Then we get to the Aries new moon, which is always part of the spring season. But the very same day, Venus and Sun, who are initiating all this new energy, are going to square off with Pluto. So it's almost like we've made our choices and decisions and we've come up with, our plan for the season, and then we have to sacrifice or let go of something so that we can actually be birthed into this new level and be transformed, which leads right to the Scorpio full moon when that always happens. And again, the same day, Pluto retrogrades. So we're going to go into the underworld for a minute before we come out in spring, Taurus, new moon, and Beltane, when things start to really blossom and pop, and the garden starts to get active, and you start to know what needs what, how things are growing and going together. And we have this additional support of the last year and the next year. This whole year of 2020 and 2021 are about changing our own narratives and telling a new story. So this theme runs throughout, and as soon as we come up into a little bit more of springtime, May, Mercury is going to retrograde in its home sign of Gemini, which again is going to present all these new ideas and possibilities. So the more anchored you are in who you are, the more connected to your own power you are, the more grounded in your own body you are, the more you know who you are and what you want and what your priorities are and what your values are, the easier it will be when we come out of that Mercury retrograde renewed and rewired for all kinds of new ideas and communications and exchanges with others, because that's what Gemini does. We're going to get sociable again. After a year and a half of isolation, I think we're going to start to baby step it back into public, and it's going to probably be 50-50 with who's comfortable with humans again, and we've talked about this on the front end. So really preparing yourself for that kind of process, because then we have Gemini-Sag eclipses going into summer solstice, and then we have the final Capricorn and Cancer lunar eclipses. So this year, this summer, within this next 3 to 6 months, we're resetting things with eclipses as well. So again, with the more grounded and connected you can be within yourself, the easier it will be to navigate those changes that we can't always predict or prepare for the way we would like to, right? And add to all that, by June 14th, as we approach summer solstice, that big one in the sky, Saturn squaring off with Uranus, old versus the new, the restrictive versus the freedom, how much can we really be responsible for, and how much freedom do we need to live as human beings, because most of us aren't built to be corralled like cattle and treated that way. So we're coming into our own liberation. So that's the other point of being kind of self-centered on the front end of spring here, where you can really dig into who you are and what you want, so that when you go to collaborate with others and communicate with others and connect again with others, that your vibration is clear, your auric field is clear, you're magnetizing a vibrational match, you're holding your vibration at a certain level on a pretty consistent basis, no matter, again, what the world is doing. We activate that gyroscope of the heart. Because as we're able to do all this, like I said, summer solstice week is huge, and it's going to tie right into, basically, I think we're all going to wake up to the real meat of the new story we're telling. It's almost like we're starting to get it now in spring, and by summer we're going to know what the new story is. So think about that with your garden this year, and this, at this time, as we go into our meditation and prayers for the world and call in that grace that is possible for each and every one of us. And again, with holding your own vibratory frequency, it so ripples out. And your management of your own physical energy, it demonstrates for others how to be calm in their own bodies. So if we could just lead by example when we're capable, right? I'm not even claiming to be good at that. But when I'm good at it, I'm good at it. And I'm trying to be more consistent about it. And it's so important to maintaining my frequency. So it becomes a value. It becomes important. And some people might call it Aries selfish, but I call it self-preservation. And I think it's what we need to do for ourselves and stop looking outside ourselves to get that done, right? So I'm calling in the beautiful garden for one and all. That's my prayer and offering, that good things grow together and that we're able to tend to our garden on a regular basis so that it's not neglected or feast or famine or all or nothing, that we connect to the balance of the season inside our bodies, inside our minds, and inside our souls, and with each other especially, because I'm ready to socialize again.
Thank you. So be it.
Did I forget anything or anything come up that you want me to elaborate on?
Oh, I think this is going to be an ongoing conversation. So
Exactly.
You'll have to keep reminding us every full moon what we need to be. Yes.
Step by step, I promise. I got you covered. All right, everyone.
Thank you. Yes. We have too many people to open the phone lines, I believe. But we can just start the prayers, and remember what you are really wanting to pray for in this time. And we're honoring all those who have suffered so greatly this year. And we're honoring those who have found new life and new opportunity and new direction in this year. We're honoring the earth as she is in perfect balance, not leaning towards the North Pole or the South, but in balanced place. This is the field of the sacred gyroscope of the heart. This balanced place becomes where we want to be. So may all beings feel that sense of balance and connection in their hearts and open up to loving kindness, compassion, and blessings for others and all humanity. May we really know that as we receive more light from now until solstice, we are integrating that light in us, and may we do that gracefully. May all people have grace in their lives and magnetize what they need in order to live in harmony with themselves and with the earth. May the earth be blessed. May all the trees be thriving and respected and honored for what they bring to us. More oxygen, taking the carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide out of the air and bringing more light to anchor on the earth. May we be like these trees and anchor this grounded presence. May we honor all that we do and all that we say to be in harmony with balance and peace and grace on the earth right now. And so it is. Nice deep breath. We're starting our meditation right now. So let yourself relax. Let yourself feel the sense of grounded presence to the earth, where you are very connected to this creative force in the center of the earth, that you bring new levels of nurturing and nourishment into your body as you connect to this place in the earth, the heart of the mother that nourishes you, and bring well-being into every area of your life through the base of your spine. We're blessing this grounded presence in us, and we take it out to the field. This becomes our new garden. We look at this vast field of light that is available to us. We recognize that this field is ours to plant. That this field has amazing opportunity and expanded presence and massive light. And we let ourselves sit by this field. We let ourselves bring the beautiful light into this field now. And know that this is awakening new life in us as well as on the earth. It's a portal to a new level. So we look at this, all these beautiful places that are empty and expansive and available. And we have an opportunity to recognize what is true for us. What are the opportunities and priorities and the value system that we most appreciate now. And we take those qualities and know that there is a place in this field for all of that. So we think of the things that we really want, and perhaps it is well-being on some form. Well-being. If you lived in well-being, not only would you be healthy and wealthy and wise, there would be a sense of fulfillment in all that you did. So, of course, everything that we're planting has this quality of equanimity. We have worked with balance all this year, and we're coming into recognizing the force of balance that the earth is offering so we can use that. This is your equanimity. It's divine neutrality. Breathe that into your garden. Breathe freedom into your garden. Plant the seeds of freedom. Freedom to be who you truly are. Freedom to express your most creative self. Freedom to express your soul expression, your soul's unique gift. What did you come here to bring? We're planting that gift into the garden, your unique, special soul purpose. We're planting loving kindness into the garden, compassion for others, and recognizing that that is an open heart and a focused, grounded presence that brings only good through you into the world. And being loving kindness also for yourself. Self-care, taking care of yourself, taking care of your own needs, filling your own cup before you can give to others, because you can't give from an empty cup. So we're filling up this garden with what we truly need to be balanced and happy. So we want to bring in the qualities of delight, planting the seeds for wonder, planting the seeds for joy. You imagine if you allow that magical quality into your life. You're planting it in this garden. That allows you to plant the seeds for calm agility. We receive, we accept what is given, and we respond from a place of calm agility. What a wonderful harvest that would bring from your garden. Peaceful acceptance that allows us to find any opportunity in that field where your calm acceptance is, your peaceful ability to respond, and recognize that whatever it is that is facing you, you have all the resources inside and out to do what is required of you. That is peaceful acceptance. Allowing is also important. So we're planting the seeds for allowing graceful support. The support that is there from the universe waiting to be given to us. Imagine that there are angels waiting all around the earth, ready to support and step in when it's time. And all we have to do is be open to that and ask for help. There's a strength that's growing inside of us, core strength. And we're not just talking about exercise, physical exercise or the physical level. Core strength is your connection to source energy. It's your connection to the heart that expands and grows in beautiful ways, bringing love and infinite intelligence through you. This core strength is that beautiful space inside that holds the courage, that knows that it's protected, that knows that the boundaries have been set into place. So planting the seeds of strong core. It means that you would have the strength to do whatever is required of you, and you have the support to do that. That deep connection within, deep connection, planting the seeds for this harmony and connection and vitality that brings us right into our most divine self. And it's here that we magnetize the support. We magnetize the inspiration. We magnetize all that we need to live in harmony with ourselves and with others. And this comes from a deep connection to your most divine self, your soul's voice. So planting the seeds for deep connection to your soul. Planting the seeds for listening very deeply and allowing yourself to receive from these higher reaches, these higher expanded frequencies that are available on this multidimensional planet that we're living on right now. So planting the seeds for awareness to keep our frequencies high and strong. Awareness of what we need and ask for it directly, knowing that we can create a field that is so creative it magnetizes those things right into our world. And planting seeds for a grounded divinity. Imagine what it would be like if you were fully embodied your divinity. This would be mastership. You would be able to manifest and create because you hold this presence of divinity that creates from light force and opens new portals so that your focus is dedicated and available to move into the new time that we're living in. It's a powerful, amazing, miraculous time. And when we can recognize that, focusing on the miracles, focusing on the opportunities, focusing on the expanded ability to see the possible outcomes that are beneficial, allowing your future self to guide you, the future self that's connected to your soul and what you came here to learn. This full embodiment of your divinity is a blessing for you and for the world. And so we're creating this field of possibility in our garden. We're allowing ourselves to change. We're moving out all of the old narratives that create the weeds and entanglements in our garden. We don't need those. We have the grace and support to be able to clear that and make the field clear of all discord and any kind of anything that doesn't serve us in the most divine way. So we're learning to manage our energy. We're stopping when we require it. We're breathing more deeply. We're taking a moment here and there throughout our day to stop, feel the grounded presence that we live in. We are stopping so that we can take very deep breaths right into our heart to bring gratitude and appreciation into our hearts every day. And especially to remember to do that when things don't feel so super. We can bring this empowered presence into every moment and breathe it through us and ask for the support that we require to come back into balance. Deep breath. So that requires us to stop every now and then, to take these deep breaths, to ask for what we want, to feel the alignment that's inside our being. Bringing that dedicated focus back in, allowing creative solutions to be planted in our garden of life. Knowing that there is always a creative solution, no matter how difficult, no matter how dire, no matter how it looks, the creative solution is there. So we have the support to untangle what gets in the way of allowing creative solutions to work in our lives. So these expansive, focused qualities of consciousness, this is what you're planting in your garden. These are the things to remember to call into your life daily, on a daily basis. Write them down. Bring some attention into your garden and check on an inner level in your meditations every day to make sure that you're still in that alignment from heaven to earth, that you still can feel that grounded presence that's deep within you, that your boundary system is strong and your core is connected to your powerful presence that is working in and through you. And know that things are not responding the way they used to. So let yourself experiment a little bit. Open up to a new kind of energy. Expand into new territory that fascinates you or is something you're curious about. That curiosity is your soul. That is your inner spirit guiding you and empowering you. What brings you passion? Explore that and let those qualities work in your life as well. Let's breathe in the balance of Equinox right this moment. Let your body get a sense of how it feels to be balanced. Breathe it in. Anchor it through the base of your spine into the earth. Feel how the earth's balance is feeding you, coming through your feet and moving right up your spine, above your head into your higher self, and then flowing back down the front of your being, activating each of your chakra centers, bringing divine light, bringing divine freedom and joy and presence into all of your energy centers so that this creative flow moves through you. Let the light of all creation move through you like the river. And let yourself be carried on this river. Don't fight the tide. As long as you are clear about your priorities and what your values are, this river will go right there, right where you are directing it. This is the light of God, and when you live and move and have your being, that is the river of all creation. That is divine grace. That's the energy that you're planting in and through each of the seeds in your garden. Allow miracles to work in every area of your life. Invite them in and allow them to happen. You are supported in beautiful and amazing new ways so that you're able to navigate the energies that we are now experiencing. The support is anchoring you and bringing that gyroscope of your heart to bring you back into balance again and again. So feel that alignment from your higher self all the way down through your body. Strong, deep, rooted connections to all the nourishment that you need to live and thrive in well-being. Deep breath. Know you are fantastically loved, that you're absolutely needed in this time, that your unique gift is required for life to be in balance. Feel your blessing, feel grace in your heart, and feel grace in the field of golden light that is pouring through you as the river of all creation. May all live in well-being. May all be happy. May peace prevail within the heart of all beings on the earth. And may respect and honoring for the planet be at the forefront of all the action taken on the earth. God bless you, and thank you so much for celebrating Equinox with us. Namaste.